My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the arch-villain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture. And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribe-Star pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, broadcasting from my hidden base at the center of the Earth, and I'm here today to discuss yet more proof that woke is on the wane in Hollywood. The tide is most definitely turning, my friends, and now even the actors with the biggest mouths are curbing their enthusiasm for attacking fans and pushing their by now very tired agenda. Case in point, Brie Larson. Back when Captain Marvel debuted, it was a major talking point and cause célèbre that sexist trolls were review bombing Captain Marvel because they couldn't stand the idea of a female superhero, a nonsensical narrative designed to cover up the failure of a pretty mediocre movie that damaged the MCU with feminist propaganda and hostility towards males. Some of that hostility subtextual, like the scene with the poor dumb biker who asks Captain Marvel for a smile, and overt actual hostility in the form of Nick Fury. Throughout that movie, one of the toughest, most masculine Marvel characters ever created, Nick Fury, along with his howling commandos, a cigar-chomping hard-ass of the First Order, was shown to be trailing after the amazing Captain Marvel the whole movie like a her-worshipping lapdog. And at the end, they completely ruined the tale of how Fury got his iconic eye patch. Turns out, Captain Marvel's cat scratches his eye. It's a toss-away joke, which is how the MCU started treating their iconic male characters from that point on. With disrespectful shit like this, it's no wonder fans dumped on this movie. Captain Marvel didn't get review bombed, it got reviewed, and it bombed. That's an unpleasant fact that they try to avoid. Now, I'm not talking financially, of course. Too many people feel the need to see a train wreck. So, rubberneckers and perhaps some fishy block sales of tickets that resulted inexplicably in empty seats during the screenings seem to account for a lot of those sales, and the real damage wasn't clear until later, when the MCU follow-up to Captain Marvel, named The Marvels, bombed spectacularly. People were not taken with Brie Larson's charmless, joyless, agenda-laden portrayal of Captain Marvel. That's the bottom line. But the bottom line hasn't mattered much in Hollywood the past decade, when actors and publicists and shills would often ignore the stark evidence of reality and take every opportunity to tar and slander the audience as ists and phobes and trolls, dismissing failure after failure as the work of bigots too ignorant to see the immense value of the pearls cast before their swinish snouts. They used to love slamming us in our patriarchal pettiness for their failures at every opportunity. But apparently, even that is starting to change, as evinced by Brie Larson's latest interview with The Telegraph.
Did she blame all of us for the Marvels losing money and getting slammed in reviews? Did she talk up an all-female Avengers movie and talk about how Captain Marvel is the mostest powerfulest superhero ever?
Oddly enough, Harvey Cthulhu, she didn't do any of those things. In fact, it became quite clear that she didn't want to talk about sexism or feminism at all. It was quite uncomfortable dealing with the topic anymore. What changed? Well, my friends, you be the judge. This story came to my attention courtesy of our friend Matt McGloin at Cosmic Book News, who published an article titled, "Brie Larson Silenced, Refuses to Address Captain Marvel Backlash, Feminist Topics." And in this article, he lays out what happened during the latest interview with Brie Larson conducted by the UK Telegraph, which tossed her some red meat, a piñata, and a baseball bat, all of which she refused to touch. Quote, The UK's The Telegraph published an interview with Brie Larson, who sports a new buzz cut look, which was apparently meant to promote the release of her new London play, Electra. However, while about half the interview focuses on the play, The Telegraph centered its coverage on Larson refusing to answer certain questions, titling the article, "Brie Larson on Marvel and Misogyny. I can't answer that without it becoming a problem for me." As the interview went on, The Telegraph brought up Larson's role in Captain Marvel, asking why she thinks some men feel threatened by her casting. According to the article, the temperature in the room plummets after the question. Brie Larson's response? "I don't know," she says blankly. "I don't pay attention." The reporter presses further, asking Larson, "Is not paying attention your way of dealing with the misogyny?" The article continues noting, a few seconds of chilly silence pass before she replies. Larson responds, "What I would like you to see is that by continuing this conversation, you are putting me in connection with something that has nothing to do with me."
Holy shit on a feminist drum circle talking stick. This Telegraph interviewer is tossing her softballs, and Larson is just watching them drift by, refusing to pick up the bat. This is not just her refusing to take the bait. It seems like she's absolutely determined not to open her mouth about this political shit. "This is a most definite shift in attitude, Doomcock, an unwillingness to engage in the kind of propagandistic tropes of grievance that was standard operating procedure even a year ago. It appears the tide has turned, the winds have shifted, and woke has gone broke in terms of cultural currency."
That was exactly how I felt about it, O Skull of Calderon, but her reluctance to engage gets even more pointed the more the interviewer presses her. Matt McGloin describes the scene in this way, quote, "The reporter is surprised by Larson's response, writing, 'This seems a startling thing to say.' The Telegraph asks whether Larson believes that the film industry continues to pigeonhole actresses to the point that a female superhero can, for a certain sort of viewer, still feel like an aberration. Larson replies, "I don't think there is a way for me to answer that without it becoming a problem for me."
Wow. Does that mean something has changed at a higher level? Have the studios started pressuring their actors to stop kicking the hornet's nest with political bullshit?
Or it could simply be an acknowledgement that public opinion has shifted to the point that attacks on the politics of fans has become too dangerous and futile to be of use anymore. Regardless, Brie was having none of it. And it is at this point when Brie Larson's publicist steps in and tells the interviewer to move on to the next question, which just makes the interviewer more obsessed with the question. It's obvious the interviewer wanted to hear the same old slanders against fans. That's the angle the Telegraph was angling for, and Larson refused to take the bait. At this point, the frustrated interviewer says, quote, "I can't work out whether Larson is angry or upset. She has spoken out before about sexism in Hollywood and has taken on the industry in other ways. Yet today she appears not only unwilling to engage with such issues, but even surprised to have been asked," unquote. So what has changed, my friends? Everything, it seems to me. All of a sudden, everywhere, at once. Could it be that the days of shitting all over fans, gaslighting them, accusing them, and delighting in making movies we have no interest in seeing has passed? I believe this may well be the case, as we'll see more and more of this kind of sudden, inexplicable sanity in the future. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha